The motion also has a very interesting footnote. If required to testify, DeRogatis requests that the court make a finding that the subpoena constitutes a waiver by defendant Darrell McDavid of any agreement to keep confidential statements made by McDavid and DeRogatis. Boom. That's it right there. The conversations Jim DeRogatis had with Darrell McDavid will put Darrell McDavid under the jail. Darrell McDavid told Jim about the tapes, the money, Rashonna Landfair, and R. Kelly relationship before, during, and after the 2008 trial with Rashonna Landfair. They discussed everything, even Rashonna's parents and Sparkle. And if you think about it, that's been his thing the whole time. All these years. That's what it is with him. If he testifies against R. Kelly, he will be testifying against Darrell McDavid and June Brown too. He don't want to throw Darrell McDavid under the bus, but he don't mind throwing R. Kelly and Milton Brown under the bus. The same information that he has now, he had back then. Everything that's concerning Rashonna Landfair, Sparkle, her parents, the tape, all the people that he interviewed, he had that information then. That's why he pled the fifth back then. He didn't want to throw Darrell McDavid under the bus because you cannot throw R. Kelly under the bus without throwing Darrell McDavid under the bus. Back then, it was determined that that was R. Kelly on tape with Rashonna Landfair. And at the time, she was underage. For me, it's Aaliyah, Tiffany Hawkins, and Rashonna Landfair. She didn't testify then because her and her parents were being paid for their silence. Not because it wasn't her on tape, but because she didn't testify during the 2008 trial, and neither did her parents, is the reason R. Kelly was acquitted. Information that Steve Greenberg didn't have in the beginning of him representing R. Kelly, he has now. He has had a few years to go over all the paperwork that they have on R. Kelly and decipher the fact that, yeah, R. Kelly is guilty. R. Kelly was guilty then. That's why he's responding in these interviews the way that he's responding. All the evidence that they got on R. Kelly, now, all they did was add what they had back then, put it all together, and boom. That's why R. Kelly getting all these years. That's not hard to comprehend. R. Kelly bought that case. R. Kelly paid them people for their silence. Darrell McDavid, June Brown, they're his co-defendants for a reason. They helped that man get away with violating a then minor. R. Kelly's attorneys are fighting a fight that they know that they cannot win. R. Kelly's attorneys are fighting a fight that they know they won't win. His attorney, Steve Greenberg, literally threw his client under the bus in this interview. He literally stated R. Kelly is guilty.
I'm never going to say having sex with a 14-year-old is okay. And I think that had they just sought to prosecute him for that, maybe there wouldn't have been a need for a trial. But they're really piling on with this guy, all because of this documentary. And what happened in this case was some of the witnesses, in this case, in the New York case, came right out and said, we lied in the documentary. Things weren't what we said in the documentary. It's really an unfair prosecution on many levels. Has he done things wrong? Yes. Did he violate the law? Yes. Should he never have had sex with the 14-year-old? Yes. Should he never have filmed it? Yes. Should he be prosecuted for that? Yes. And frankly, he would have been much better off in hindsight had he lost the 2008 trial.
When the tape first came out, people watched that tape to see was it R. Kelly. And it is. Just because there was no force doesn't mean there was no crime. A lot of people are getting that confused. A crime was committed on a child. She was 14 years old when R. Kelly violated her. She was born September 18, 1984. In 1998, she was 14. If the incident happened before September 18, 1998, she was 13. Math is the same all around the world. The inappropriate phone calls, conversations, and touching happened before she was actually violated, aka raped. At the end of the day, that's what it was.
The trial's first week focused on another Kelly accuser, Jane, who identified herself as the girl being sexually abused by Kelly in 3 separate videos from the 1990s. One of those videos became the subject of Kelly's 2008 Cook County trial, during which he was acquitted of child pornography charges, because prosecutors now allege Kelly and his associates went to great lengths to keep Jane quiet and recover other incriminating footage. Witnesses last week largely focused on those efforts. 3 people testified that Kelly's team paid them to bring him videos of his homemade child pornography while he was awaiting his Cook County trial. Defense attorneys, during lengthy cross-examinations, have challenged their stories as inconsistent and tried to paint them as unreliable extortionists. Kelly, 55, is charged with 13 counts of production of child pornography, conspiracy to produce child pornography, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. Also on trial are former Kelly associates Daryl McDavid and Milton June Brown, who, according to the indictment, schemed to buy back incriminating sex tapes that had been taken from Kelly's collection and hide years of alleged sexual abuse of underage girls.
Who wants to come over and let's make a movie? Just you and me, baby. Just you and me. Who wants to come over and let's make a movie? Just you and me, baby. Just you and me. Who wants to come over and let's make a movie? Just you and me, baby. Just you and me. Who wants to come over and let's make a movie? Just you and me, baby. Just you and me. Who wants to come over and let's make a movie? Just you and me, baby. Just you and me.
How is he still getting away with this? Does not the whole world know that this man is a pedophile? My witness list consisted of Aaliyah, Javante, and several other women, people in Robert's camp. Definitely enough for me to be taken seriously.
He would have sex with multiple friends and have Tiffany watch. Then he would have Tiffany participate. Then it was just him and Tiffany. And she wanted to do whatever she needed to do to be with him. And so when he insisted on having sex with her, she did. And then it became a regular thing, and she eventually lived with him and was told to cut off contact with other people, which she did. So it was an evolution of pedophilia. Remember, he met Aaliyah when she was 13 years old. I don't think anyone ever suspected early on that they were having a sexual relationship, because why would you suspect a grown man of having sex with a 13-year-old? Tiffany Hawkins was the first person to bring this to the attention of anybody, and nobody believed her. I called and called and called the office of the state's attorney, not a word back. We knew we had to take action when the state didn't do anything. What Kelly was doing was horrendous, was predatory, was serial, and needed to be stopped. And so what we had to do was file a lawsuit against him and the people that he worked for. We knew that our only avenue of redress was a civil lawsuit seeking money damages. We sued R. Kelly, we sued Jive Records, Zomba, Blackground, we sued Kelly for the assault and battery, we sued all these other places for negligence. It's an imperfect system, but it's the best system that's out there, and it's what we have. On the record, she testified that she had sex with R. Kelly while she was a minor, and that he knew it, and that he had sex with other minors in her presence. And she testified under oath that they engaged in group sexual encounters together with other minors. Kelly's lawyers threw me out of their office, so they knew they were screwed. I left Susan Logan's office because I always want to do my best, and I really feel like I was denied the opportunity to do the best for Tiffany Hawkins in this case. Paying money for silence victimizes women. Susan, as far as I know, has brokered settlements for silence for victims of R. Kelly's abuse. There was nothing to benefit anybody by locking this guy up. What would justice look like to me, since we can't turn back the hands of time? Jail. Forever. And something more societally, an understanding that this kind of behavior can't be tolerated and be put aside in favor of profit.
My name is Demetrius Smith. I was with R. Kelly from 1985, and I left him in 95. And I just want to make it clear that I was not about being receptive to him messing with young girls. I always fought when the lines were long and there were young girls. I tried to tell the parents. I tried to tell the record company of the things that I was seeing, because I was the first to see. And I didn't see him ever touching the young girls, but his actions in wanting to entertain them was inappropriate to me. So I tried to make that known. And as we went on from 95, after he married Aaliyah, I did get the license. I did that. I didn't forge it myself, but I walked her into places that gave her IDs. And I did that because Robert was told that he had to do this to save himself from jail. I've been with him from 85 to 95, and because of that, I stood in the gap to help him for that moment. It was supposed to fix things. It was supposed to change things. It was supposed to give him a reality check, because that's when it first started. That's when it happened in my sight. Coming up in the Kenwood days, watching him play with Tiffany Hawkins and the Javantes, and they were kids. There was no sexual activity, and it was the beginning. So nothing was really happening. It didn't happen until after he got his deal that he became a monster to me. And I don't want to be misunderstood as I left him in 95. I'm not with him. Everybody that's with him after me, they pretty much knew what he was about. And you know, not to name names, but they know who they are. And if I name your names, then you're going to be set out, because you need to be set out, because you sat there and allowed that boy to continue to do what he did, to grow into the person he's grown to be, and you riding there on the side of him like he ain't doing nothing wrong. See, I'm a good guy now. I'm a nice guy. God has saved me. That book relieved a lot of pain from me. See, I walked in a lot of pain after R. Kelly. See, I had, it's a long story. You ought to check my book out before you judge me. God bless you and keep you. My book is The Man Behind the Man, Looking from the Inside Out. It's on Amazon, and it's been on there since 2011. Everything y'all talk about, it's in there. And I'm not doing it to sell the books, but, you know, I have to clear my name now at the same time, and, you know, there's a lot of pain. But we had a lot of good times back in the days, man. And as far as Aaliyah is concerned, she's an angel in my book. There's nothing. Her parents, they were with her all the time, but you can't be with your kids all the time. The things they didn't see, I didn't see. No, her parents were 100% behind her. But Diane, you didn't see everything. You watched her as close as you could, and we all did. And I feel like I let her down, and I cry over her. So don't bother me when it comes to Aaliyah, because she's an angel in my book, and her mom is 100% great mom. So don't insult this. Don't get it misunderstood. I told my story because I can tell my story. I don't have no loyalty, no obligation to Mr. Kelly, because he had none for no one. He has destroyed lives, and it's a lot to that. It's a lot to it. So I just wanted to give that to y'all. So have a blessed day.